Hey, how are you doing? I was thinking it might be quite a good idea to get super strategic today. A lot of people ask me how I manage with a busy work and life schedule and travel and moving back and forths. And the honest answer is quite a lot of the time, not very well. Quite often I find that sleeping badly, rhythms are all off, not eating great, not out in my usual exercise routine, start to feel, sluggish and bloated, brain doesn't work as well, anxious, and at times depressed. And this has been something I've thought about a lot in the last few years in terms of trying to develop strategies that will enable a really quite quick reboot. And so when I'm looking at that, I think about 5 key things. First thing I do is stop drinking alcohol. I don't drink a lot, but if I cut out drinking alcohol completely, that helps most of the other things that come into play. The second thing is to double down on eating well. So recently when I moved house, I was living off takeouts and ready meals, and very uncharacteristic for me, and I really found that affected me after just a week or two, and it's kind of persisted a bit onwards. But now, by cutting out junky carbs, by focusing on good quality proteins, whole foods as much as possible, not too much in the way of refined sugar, that's 90% of it, I think. Everything else can get complicated. Everything else is hyper-personalized in terms of what you like and what works for you and convenience. But if you really just cut out junky carbs, good quality proteins, whole foods, and then try and get plenty of good nourishing fruit and vegetables in, nourish gut, body, soul, mind, makes such a difference. So minimal alcohol, good food, sleep and circadian rhythms. Sleep can be truly awful at times for me. Thankfully not so much these days, but as someone who's had very long periods of bad insomnia, I've doubled down on trying to work out how I might fix this. So getting the circadian rhythm sorted fixes most of sleep, and for that it's same sleep time, same wake time, and then in the mornings trying to get daylight exposure, sunlight exposure. You want to see the sun as it's rising in your eyes. Now in summer, that's great. If you live in a nice climate, that's great. It can be pretty tough. In Scotland in the winter, it's near on impossible actually. So how to get around that? Well, get a sad lamp or some kind of LED lamp. I have a nice Lumi lamp now that I have in the kitchen. Put the coffee on to percolate and I flick the light on, super bright. It's not perfect, but it's a good little hack. So sleep, circadian rhythms, and then exercise. Often doing something is better than nothing. And I like to run a lot, I like to go to the gym and work out, but often when I'm not able to do anything, oh man, don't have time for an hour's run, I might as well not bother. But actually, if you can just go 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, just get the heart rate up a bit, go and do 20, 30 minutes of a HIIT workout or lift some weights, just really gets the body going again. And typically, once I've got a few of these things moving again, then I actually find time for exercise. This bit, lots of people say, how do you find the time to train? Well, the answer is when you're doing it, you just find the time for it because it's part of who you are and what you're doing. And when you're not doing it, well, it's really hard to find the time for it. So the answer is typically just to start and you'll find the time. And then number 5 on my list, which, trust me, is an absolute must if you've never done it, is just delete social apps from your phone. Even if it's just for 24 hours, a week, a month, some kind of mini dopamine detox, particularly today in the current climate. Many of us have used a lot of social apps for work as well as life, and some of our social channels are pretty toxic at the moment, so cutting them out, certainly get it off your phone. Doesn't have to go complete cold turkey, makes a big difference. So there we are, a quick reboot strategy: minimal alcohol, eat well, get good sleep, exercise, delete social apps. There's more, of course, but there's a few things that might just help you reboot and get re-energized moving into the next winter phase. Bye-bye for now.